so you can like just not hate everybody you love. And so I got to that point, and Janelle was the person that I was like, okay, I trust you enough to walk away and know that this won't die right away. And that was Janelle. Bluestockings was my ex-girlfriend for a really long time, and I would not walk by her house. I was like not checking her Instagram. We were done. And I went back in 2016, and Janelle was there, and I apologized to her about how we ended things. And in her true Janelle way, she was just like, oh my God, don't even worry about it. Worse things have happened since you left. Like, that was nothing. We're good. And I was like, that was the forgiveness I needed to be like, okay, we're cool. I can say hi again. And that was kind of just Janelle's way, right? Like, you're like, oh fuck, I fucked up so bad. And she's like, no, you're good, we're good, everything's cool. So when Janelle joined the collective, we asked everybody to write a letter to the existing collective members. So I have Janelle's letter that she wrote to be part of the collective, and I just wanted to read like a little part of it because it's kind of long. So, just as the multiplicity of identities and talents within the Bluestockings community of volunteers create a richness and dynamism that is quite unique to our space, the many talents and qualities of the collective are an important asset, or Kimmy's sense of fashion. My immense music collection will be an invaluable asset to the Bluestockings collective. So I remember this one time when her kid was in the store and somebody had like a Discman, and she was like, Mommy, where do you make it go? I can't touch the screen. So that was 2009, y'all. Aside from hours of auditory pleasure, there are many other aspects of my experiences, skills, and personality that will benefit the collective. I have learned how to utilize our great resource of volunteer power to amplify my own ability to accomplish daily tasks around the store, learning to delegate tasks to suit each volunteer's skills and interests. I have also observed the collective in various incarnations and the delicate balance of cooperation and assertion that is necessary to make it function. I have noticed that a certain blending of personalities and temperaments is imperative for the /issue before making a decision. I am easy to get along with and an open communicator. I am assertive, yet always willing to consider the opinions of others and admit when I am wrong. I feel each of these traits can be very important when it comes to making collective decisions. So this is a really long letter, and I sent it in the chat, but if anybody wants to read it, I can send it. But I just wanted to appreciate Janelle in this moment and the ability to trust her even though you don't really know what you're trusting, and having it be okay. It's just something I didn't know I needed, so thank you all.
Folks want to read, so. Yeah. Yeah, we can just read. Yeah. Come on. Come on. Come on.
I just got tapped to speak, so I wasn't quite prepared for that. Can everyone hear me? Is this an okay distance?
No, louder, Michelle.
Speak to the cheap seats. Speak to the wedding.
Yeah.
So I'm Michelle. I know most of you. I have been at Bluestockings. Will intend to return to Bluestockings, but have been there since 2010, around the time that Janelle joined the collective. And when I started volunteering on Wednesday nights, Janelle and I had some overlap, and so I spent a few solid years getting to know her in that regard, and then we continued. This is going to make me crazy. All of the messages. We continued to be in touch after that, and I think one of the things that I've been thinking a lot about, as folks have, I think, been grieving the loss of the space, the physical space one of the things that's come up for a lot of people is this notion that Bluestockings is a lifeline for a lot of folks. And I think that the reality of that is that it is, the space is important, but it is also the people in the space who really serve as a lifeline. And I was thinking about, thank you. It's okay, I'm okay with feeling. I didn't wear mascara. I was thinking about it just in the way that, you know, even when Janelle and I didn't cross paths very much, because I was there in the evenings and she was there during the daytime and our schedules didn't align. You know, if I was concerned about one of our folks who spent a lot of time in the store, who didn't have a lot of other support, you know, sometimes I would reach out to Janelle and say, hey, can you keep an eye out for this person? And we had a sort of evening, daytime buddy system in that way. And I know that she was a really important source of support to a lot of people, and she really did function as a lifeline in quiet and subtle ways that not everyone got to know about except for the people who were getting that support. So I want to honor that the ways in which Bluestockings has been a lifeline and is a lifeline for people is also because of people like Janelle being a really, really central part of that. And so, yeah, so I guess maybe to end on a lighter note, since the toilet's been brought up several times, I will say I shared this with some of the folks in the Signal group, but one of my other favorite Janelle memories is all of the emails about when we thought men's rights activists were sabotaging our plumbing as a way to support the feminist bookstore. And the just amazing, they're in the Google Drive, but the amazing emails that Janelle would send out asking us to be toilet guardians and the like. I'm not going to sing you the whole thing, but I was also thinking about how patient she was, that for 10 years she tolerated me singing the Bratmobile song to her, which she will be very much missed, and I know that her legacy will live on in all of us.
Okay. Annie?
Oh, sorry. I'm Manny. I joined Bluestockings in 2012 at
A little bit louder.
obviously a very critical time. I needed it very badly, because who didn't need that space really badly when we went there, you know? Like, and Janelle was my coach to the collective. She was there rooting me on all the time and really helped me to feel like a part of that process. And you know, we had, you know, innumerable bench cigarettes, innumerable, and the bench momentum.
Bench right there.
Yeah, we would start trying to get outside at say 11:30 when someone had finally shown up, and we'd make it outside by 12:30. Somewhere with me, like, you know, by the door, and still be trying to drag each other out. And our relationship, you know, was work, was emotional support as like colleagues for a long time there. And then I left the collective in 2016 or 2015. Like, I think I really like stepped away from the space in 2016, and you know, it went from having like 5-minute 10-minute moments on the bench or like talking about the space to actually having a friendship that I never expected, and I feel really grateful for, because as some of you will know, you know, to be a collective member of Bluestockings requires like an emotional support staff of friends that you vent to, and we used to share that sort of solidarity together, and then we became, you know, I became Janelle's support staff, and we were at the Bluestockings birthday party, which I think was in 2019, and I remember being there with Rachel and Pants, and we said, you know, we're just here to be Janelle's posse, like that's our job today. And as much as she gave that support to me and was my friend from the very second that we started talking, you know, I got to be a support to her, and I got to see so much of her, and she shared so much, and we had these very, very long signal chats while she was still at Bluestockings, and then really had time to hang out after she wasn't, you know. So a lot of the messages would start, you know, oh, you know, not great, not doing great, but, you know, we'd go into like what we're grateful for, and we always had things we were excited about, and we continued to give each other hope about seeing each other again and doing something together that we wanted. And I just feel so grateful that I got to be there for her, and that we are friends for life. Absolutely. And that's all I have. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Mary Jo. I don't think I know any of you except this guy. But I just wanted to represent another co-op that was part of Janelle's life, really huge part of her life, that I was lucky to be part of for 4 years, which was 20 Clarkson Avenue. And we lived below Janelle and Chris, and as my daughter called her, Cassidy, who was my daughter's just idol. And it was 2009, and I didn't have a child yet, and I got pregnant, and right away I was welcomed by you guys. It was really sweet, and I had grown up with a lot of people in my family, like 6 siblings, so I knew about like chaos, but I didn't know about like healthy living with boundaries, and like I learned that through this group. I lived on the first floor, and there was four. I feel like I'm boring everybody, but there were four like
Floors.
homes, 4 floors. Thank you.
4 families.
4 families, and together we all work to make like one big home, you know. And I just keep hearing this name of home, and the Bluestockings. She always talked about the community, and like I knew that was her whole jam. So it's great to see you guys. I haven't seen Janelle since. We moved out 2013, but I met Mary. So hi to Mary, and I was always made to feel like part of Janelle's family and your family, and wherever they were. Like
And you welcomed us down into your home.
we welcomed you. Yes. Well,
Every
we
time
stole
you
their-
guys went out of town, you were like, we're going to be gone for a few days.
Really?
Come down and use the washer and dryer and
Right,
go
like
in
we
the
shared the
garden.
washer dry. It was very like
You know?
I don't know. I'm having no like it wasn't a youth hostel. I wouldn't say it was that. But it was like this community commune.
Co-op.
Yes, it felt like a commune. And I learned so much about motherhood from Janelle, and she was just so kind to me. But she was always funny too. And I'm going to say an off-color joke. Is this a good place for off-color jokes?
Definitely.
All right. So Janelle is like very serious. Like she's like a dry delivery. You know what I mean? So you never know if she's being like serious. Sometimes you can't tell if she's joking or not. I was talking to her, and I was such a cranky pregnant lady. Like I went off all my pills. You know, I was gonna do it all crunchy and be right, and instead I was just like a depressed, anxious mess, like complaining all the time. And I broke I don't know, like I had like a chest problem, and I had like, you know, just every like kvetchy thing that like a pregnant lady could go through, I took advantage of.
And humid New York summer too, I remember.
Humid New York summer, I broke my ankle, anyway. And so after that, it was like, I think it was our goodbye party, and her and I were talking, and she was just like, man, I remember your pregnancy. And at that point, my daughter was 3 years old. She's like, I can't believe, she's like, you had such a horrible pregnancy. She's like, if I were you, I seriously think I would have had a late-term abortion. And I was just like, it was so funny. Like, there was like a silent moment where her and I was like, she was like, I'm dead serious. I believe you. And we both just started laughing so hard because I was just like, I was a miserable fuck all through that loved the shit out of me anyway. And I loved her for loving me just as I was, and I loved the pitter patter of the feet above us, and just like all the life, you know what I mean? It was like an era in my child's life and my life, and it was short, but it was lasting. And I saw her, and I didn't talk to her for years, but I saw her last year in the co-op, and she filled me in on what was going on with your lives and with Newt, and just to hear just that she was living everything she said she believed in to the day that I last saw her. And I don't know, that's all I have to say. But
Thank you, Mary Jo.
Sure.
So there's a bunch of people on the Zoom who want to talk. There's about a minute delay, so we're just gonna wait a minute and try getting them in on speaker.
Do you want to try to
Whoa, yeah.
plug in?
It's going to say BRB XR.
Can everyone hear me? Can everyone hear me? Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. I'm just gonna connect my phone to a Bluetooth speaker. If anybody on the Zoom, if anybody on the it's 30 seconds to the Hey, can everyone hear me? Yeah, we could hear very slightly. We can do a people's mic. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, Rachel, I don't think it's gonna work. It's not gonna work. Just tell them.
Give me 1 second, sorry. I'm
Yeah.
also gonna read something from OZL.
Rachel, can I hold this? Yeah. Oh, somebody. Yeah, thank you.
Which way am I holding this?
Hello, everybody. Sure, the other way. My name is Sky. I was a collective member at Bluestockings from 2011 to around 2014. I joined the collective because Janelle was my staffer, and after about spending a week in the store, she encouraged me to join the collective. I'm going to reiterate a common theme that folks before me brought up. One of the things that Janelle was most amazing about was articulating compassion. We all have different relationships to the notion of compassion, and my relationship to it was always you make sure that you are well before making sure that the people around you are doing well. And that's always been my model, making sure that I had enough to make sure that the people around me had enough. And it wasn't until encountering Janelle that I realized that there was another option. The other option is just that you do well and you support people regardless of your condition. And that was a lesson that took me a while to learn. In 2015, Sandy hit in 2015. When that happened, the Lower East Side was entirely shut down. Everything south of 14th Street was blacked out, and it took almost $40 by cab to get in from southern Brooklyn to Bluestockings. And after the first day, I brought up to Bluestockings and the rest of the collective that we should potentially close down the store because it would be untenable for us to regularly get to the store to open it for any reason. And Janelle immediately vetoed it and said, you and I are going to take cabs in every single morning and make sure that that store is open so that there is coffee available, that there are resources available for the people in the Lower East Side.
$1 a cup.
Free. She was giving them away, and the entire time I had to sit down with her.
Machine, bro.
I had to sit down and talk to her about how she didn't have the money to be affording these taxi rides in, that she did not have the resources to be buying coffee for people, that she did not have the resources to be supporting the Lower East Side. And she just smiled at me and she said, well, who else is gonna do it? And it was at that point that I realized that like I was wasting her time arguing with her. And so I said, okay, every single day the Lower East Side is still blacked out, I'm gonna wake up early and we're gonna get in a cab and we're gonna fight everybody to get in cabs and get to the Lower East Side so we can open up Bluestockings and you can spend money that you don't have to buy coffee for people that you don't know. And somehow that made more sense. And I kept on trying to argue with myself that what she was doing and what we were doing was the wrong approach. Like if we weren't secure, why are we going out and supporting other people? And Janelle, there was never, ever a question for her. And it was the way that she interacted not only with the volunteers, but how she was the most effective parent that I've ever seen. She came out and admitted where her limitations were and pointed to somebody in the store and said, Cassidy, Newt, Oziel, you're gonna go learn from them. You're gonna go spend a week with that person and you're gonna leave the store. You're gonna go and this person is gonna take care of you for a week and you're gonna come back in a week and you're gonna be a better person and you're gonna tell me about it. And that was just, it was so consistent where she saw Bluestockings not only as a resource, but every single person in the space. And she had that blind trust that every single one of us was going to be a positive resource for her kid. And even if Janelle isn't here, and I can't imagine losing a parent as a teenager, I just want to make sure that as Oziel gets older, that she knows the impact that Janelle had on all of us. And that when Oziel is 18 or 20 or 25 and wants to know the impact that her mom had, that we're here for her. Ugh.
Hey, so I'm gonna read a message from Oziel that was just sent to me, and then after that we're gonna try to get Mary to call in, so figure that out. Janelle's mom to call in. So I appreciate everyone's patience as we figure out the technology. Also, there's been a request that if anybody can, if they can video some of this, it would be really helpful, so that there's a living memory of some of what's being said. So if you can on your phone and we can then upload it to the drive, that would be helpful. All right. Hi, it's Oziel here. Although a lot of you may remember me as Cassidy, or just that kid who used to run around Bluestockings all the time. I honestly have no clue what to say about my mom dying. A lot of emotional processing, a lot of crying. But this means a lot, what you guys are doing. Bluestockings was always a huge part of my life, and I was basically raised there. And parts of that space and the people there and my mom forever will be a part of me and my life. Thank you so much. I miss all you guys. I wish I could be there with you right now. Heart.
My name's Chris.
Can I say something really quick?
Yeah, this is my friend David. Hey everybody. I don't know any of you except for those that I've met today. I happened to meet Chris in my neighborhood a couple weeks ago, and we just hit it off. We have similar backgrounds, and we have similar passions. And then I didn't see him for a week or two, and I bumped into him on the street, and I had an errand to run, and I left, but it felt like something was incomplete. So I finished my errand, and I ran down the street, and I called his name, and he told me what had happened. I've never met your very good friend, boss, or cohort, or I'm not sure what it is, but it sounds like Janelle is a beautiful person. And I'm sorry I didn't get to meet her, but I am very happy that I got to know Chris. He's a lovely, lovely human being, and if that's any reflection on all of you and on Janelle, then I think that's beautiful, and I'm a lucky man. He came over to my house the other night and played some music, and it was really lovely, and my heart breaks for all of you. I haven't been where you are, and I don't know all of your friends, but I hope that there's some solace here, and I hope that you all feel comfortable and know that you're loved by everybody, and this is a great group, and so this is Chris, if you don't know him.
Yeah, I'm Chris. I know some of you by face and some of you by name. Janelle always shared with me everything that happened at the bookstore, and just I was like a soundboard for her for everything that was wonderful and everything that was terrible. And for many years, she would tell me about so many of you and how much she appreciated you and loved you. And the bookstore and Janelle, after a few years, it was hard to separate the two. But that was alright, because that was her passion and that became her life's work. And it was like it was kind of her life's, I don't know what the right word is. It was like a life task for her. And building community and bringing people together and sharing and being as open as she could and helpful. And I wrote something because I'm old and I don't remember what I think. So I'm going to put on glasses to read what I wrote because I'm old. Janelle used her life to lift others, encouraging, challenging us all, gently, mostly, to step forward into a better version of ourselves. She believed in the untapped potential of children, and especially young adults, which was never made more evident in her work at Bluestockings with the high school interns, for whom she felt so much devotion and love. When she talked to me about all of the amazing kids and how deeply they filled her with hope and inspiration, she glowed. It was obviously that was something that was a mission of hers that she didn't know when she started. She devoted her entirety into community building, constantly spotting opportunities to reach out her hand to anyone who needed to take hold of it. Hi, honey. Yes. Sit here, that's fine. She believed in giving voices to those who never had or rarely had a chance to be heard, and most of all, not using her own voice as a substitute for those for whose own mouths and hearts needed to be heard and acknowledged. She never wanted to take up their space. She accomplished more beautiful things in the short 18 years which I'd known her and loved her than many of us do in a lifetime, most of which would not have been possible without the collaboration and dedication of so many of us here today. And as not only a parent to the community, as a mother to our fucking amazing daughter, there was never anyone so loving and dedicated and truly radical from the ground up, roots and all, in the way that she and I nudged, encouraged, I guess, never really pushed, but, you know, hoped. Our beautiful Ozil, aka Newt, Cassidy, Brew, destroyer of trolls. I don't know, maybe it was ogres. Corey, you could probably straighten that distinction out. I don't know. But she kicked a lot of ass in D&D. Who so admired her mom and became a shining light among the Bluestockings community, where I believe the love and friendship she found while volunteering there played an undeniable role in her nascent journey of figuring out who she was and wanted to be. I always loved Janelle, even when at times I wished I didn't. But I will always love her, and she has a permanent place in the deepest and most tender places of my heart. And there I will always carry her with me for the rest of my days. Never forgetting the adversity and impossible struggles, and always remembering her laughter, our vulnerable and candid conversations, the soft, tender affection she trusted enough to express to me and risk revealing in our early days, and how so adored she was and is by you all, the very best of us. I miss you, Janelle. I'll see you in the place where our love has always been. legitimately late. By at least 20 minutes. Everyone here brings Janelle close to me and to everyone here as well. She's here with us today. And probably wishing that we weren't foisting all of this credit on her. And wanting to like make sure everyone else here knows that it was them that was the ones that made these things happen. And her modesty was unending. And anyway, I wrote a bunch of shit about the stuff I was going to put on the donation table, like offers. I'm not going to read that right now, but if you'll let me, I'll have a couple of songs. I'm going to sing one song, but I guess I'm going to do two, if that's alright. As it happens, they're both John Prine songs. I don't know what happened to my pick. I had it in my head.
I saw you put it there.
Oh, there it is. Thanks. This is a song called Summer's End, which I think was pretty appropriate. Summer's End, around the bend, just flying. Swimming suits on the line, just driving. I'll meet you there for our conversation. I hope I didn't whole vacation. You know how far from home you'll be. Till you watch the shadows cross the ceiling. You never know. Well, I don't know, but I can. Sorry. Well, I don't know, but I can see it snowing. In your car, the windows are wide open. So come on home. Come on home. And you don't have to be alone. So come on home. Come on home. And you don't have to. You don't have to be alone. Come on. Valentine's break hearts and minds at random. Like that old Easter egg ain't got a leg to stand on. Well, I can see you can't win for trying. New Year's Eve is bound to leave you crying. Come on home. Come on home. You don't have to be alone. Just come on home. Moon and stars hang out in bars. like that old house you thought was haunted. Summer's end, closer than you wanted. Come on home. Come on home. But you don't have to be alone. Come on home. Come on home. You don't have to be alone. Come on home. I didn't practice that, so sorry about that.
It was great.
And then this is a song that Janelle used to talk to me about when I played this. I used to play songs last winter, kind of busking with Roxy next to me. It's a duet, and Janelle used to say that we should sing it together because it's a man and a woman sort of trading off on the lines. Let's see if I wrote them down or not. I know the song, but like I'm nervous, so I'm gonna forget the words. Did I write it? Yeah.
You just played the last song again. That was awesome.
I don't know, man. I've played it better by myself. But that's alright. This is In Spite of Ourselves. Maybe some of you know it. John Prine. She don't like her eggs all honey. She thinks crossing her legs is funny. She looks down and knows that money. She gets it on like the Easter bunny. She's my baby. I'm her honey. Never gonna let her go. He ain't been laid in the blue for Sundays. I caught him once and he was sniffing my undies. He ain't too bright, but he gets things done. He drinks his beer like it's oxygen. He's my baby, I'm his honey. Never gonna let him go. In spite of ourselves, we'll end up sitting on a rainbow. In spite of ourselves, in spite of our F, we ended up sitting on a rainbow. Against all odds, honey, we're the big door prize. We're gonna spite our noses right off of our faces. Won't be nothing but big old hearts dancing in our eyes. She thinks all of my jokes are corny. Convict movies, they make her horny. She likes ketchup on her scrambled eggs. She swears like a sailor when she shaves her legs. She takes a licking, she keeps on ticking. I'm never gonna let her go. He's got more balls than a big grass monkey, a whacked out weirdo and a love bug junkie. Sly as a fox, crazy as a loon. When payday comes, he's a howl at the moon. He's my baby, I don't mean maybe. Never gonna let him go. In spite of ourselves, we'll end up sitting on the rainbow. Against all odds, honey, we're the big door prize. We're gonna spite our nose right off of all they say. There won't be nothing but big old hearts dancing in our eyes. There won't be nothing but big old Rocks, everybody. Thank you. You guys are amazing, and thank you for bringing Janelle here with us today. It means a lot to me. And she sees all of us here and hears us all.
Love you, Chris.
Thank you for putting up with my presence.
On Zoom, there's over 20 different people, different parties that are zooming in, and I know lots of people are together. So that means that there's a lot of people who are on Zoom and they've been sharing their memories separately. They're gonna try to combine it in the file, the memorial file. Let's take a moment of silence to remember Janelle. Thank you everybody so much for being here. As a reminder, we have letter writing supplies. The family has asked for letters. If you feel so inclined to write a letter to Janelle or to Ozil or Mary or Chris, it would be much appreciated. We also have sheets that are graciously baked, so thank you. Thank you all for being here.
So it is also really abrupt, and before we all leave, I just want to highlight that although we can't really put together like necessarily a memorial fund for Janelle, that's something that we're actively working on. We are encouraging people to make direct donations to Chris. So we have all of his PayPal information available, and that's something that we all want to support as a collective for Janelle.